Most people believe that bears wander into town just because their forests are disappearing, food is running low, or their numbers have rebounded thanks to conservation. While those reasons matter, there's another cause that doesn't get talked about enough. Campers and hikers often leave scraps of food behind, and over time, bears have learned to connect people with an easy meal. That's why we're seeing more of them raiding cornfields, tearing into beehives, knocking over trash cans, and even going after livestock. In some cases, they've gotten bold enough to break into homes, creating real risks not only for farmers and local communities, but also for public safety. To tackle this growing
across
problem,
North America,
the U.S. has
leading to
introduced
significant
regulated hunting
challenges.
programs designed to keep bear populations in check and reduce damage. On one of these hunts, we set out with a native grain, honey, and salmon, a mix no bear can resist. By midday, the warm air carried the fishy sweet scent deep through the trees. I settled into position about 60 yards away, tucked behind a wall of brush and fallen logs, my .30-06 rifle resting steady on a bipod. As the daylight began to fade and shadows stretched across the forest floor, a massive bear appeared. It moved cautiously, its nose twitching as it followed the trail. Heart pounding, I slowed my breath, finger hovering over the trigger, waiting for that one perfect moment. Bear hunting is far from a solo mission. Those beasts are massive and fierce, demanding respect and teamwork. I joined a crew of 3, guided by Craig, a seasoned pro, as we trekked along a rugged forest ridge in Wyoming. Snow dusted the rocks, and the crisp air carried hints of sage and icy granite. After a grueling 3-hour hike, Craig's sharp eyes caught a grizzly, its bronze coat glinting like a shadow slipping across a rocky slope, likely stalking prairie dogs. We took cover behind boulders.
With hunting schedules that may change annually depending on various
to close within 270 yards. My first shot cracked through the thin mountain air, hitting its mark. The grizzly roared, rearing up, and the second shot landed just behind its shoulder. It crumpled, its powerful frame still radiating raw majesty, claws glinting like polished steel even in death. In the sprawling suburbs of eastern Wyoming, black bears have turned bold, sneaking into hayfields and feedlots like uninvited guests. The U.S. Department of Agriculture pegs their annual damage to farmers at a hefty $5 million. Armed with an ATV and a drone, I spent 2 days tracking one such bear, mapping its habits across the open
cover
terrain.
it provides.
On a chilly
Have you
Tuesday
ever
morning,
explored these
I
types of
spotted it from a
terrains?
windbreak near a weathered fence, its sleek silhouette standing out against the dawn. Using sparse brush as cover, I crept within 150 yards. The bear froze, sniffed the air, and stood tall, locking eyes with me. My single shot hit its lung, and it bolted, kicking up a cloud of dust before collapsing just a yard away. Not every hunt ends with a trophy. One chilly late afternoon, I was perched in a tree stand when a bear lumbered into view, far too close for a safe shot. Heart pounding, I stayed still, but a sudden shift in the wind betrayed me. The bear's head snapped up, its dark eyes locking onto mine. It circled below, growling low, while I clutched my rifle, muscles tense. A branch cracked nearby, spooking the beast, and it bolted into the brush. I'd broken a golden rule. Never let a bear get that close. Shaken but relieved, I climbed down, kicking myself for letting it slip away. On Alaska's Kenai Peninsula, I joined a seasoned guide for a hunt along the salmon-choked river. We set up camp near a bend known for its spawning runs, the air thick with the scent of fish and pine. After hours of waiting, a massive grizzly burst through the shallows, its fur shimmering with fish scales as it hauled a salmon to the bank. I steadied my rifle on its bipod, tracking the bear's movements. When the moment felt right, I squeezed the trigger, landing a clean shot just behind its ear. The grizzly dropped instantly, a testament to the wild beauty of the hunt.
Nice!
Controlled hunts are one tool for managing America's booming bear populations, but they spark heated debates. Are they a practical solution or a step too far? I'd love to hear your take. Drop your thoughts below and consider subscribing for more on wildlife management and conservation. This video is for educational and awareness purposes. All scenes follow local laws and ethical hunting guidelines. Welcome to the Leopard Farm channel, where adventure is always on the horizon. My buddy Ballman runs a big oil farm just outside town, but lately, wild boars have been tearing through his fields like a tornado, wrecking crops and his peace of mind. Tired of watching his hard work go down the drain, I jumped in to help. With rifles ready, our trusty hounds at our side, and a crew of local hunters, we set off into the rugged mountains for what promised to be a wild ride. The dense forest was no walk in the park, but our dogs, sharp, loyal, and fearless, led the way, their barks cutting through the silence to warn us of what lay ahead. We pushed deeper into the mountains, every nook and cranny. The thick underbrush As we pushed through the thick underbrush, our hearts kicked into high gear when a dog's barks turned frantic. They pinned down a massive wild boar. With a steady hand and years of hunting know-how, I took the shot, dropping the beast in an instant. Even without the dogs, we'd learned to read the land. A faint whiff of musk or a patch of churned-up dirt was enough to snap us to attention. In those split-second moments, instinct took over, and we were ready. Deeper into the mountains we went, where the tangled brush hid everything but the sound of our hounds, once again proving they were our greatest asset in this untamed
We stayed
wilderness.
vigilant. Out here in the wild, danger.
A massive wild boar exploded from the dense underbrush, charging toward us with raw, untamed fury. Instinct kicked in. I steadied my rifle and fired a single resounding shot. The bullet struck true, hitting a vital spot, and though the boar kept charging for a moment, I knew it was only a matter of time before it went down. As the rest of the team fanned out, tracking other targets, I caught sight of another boar tearing through the brush. I radioed Delvin, whose hawk-like eyes zeroed in on the fleeing animal. With one precise shot, he brought it down, the boar rolling down the hillside in a cloud of dust. The thrill of the hunt was electric, but danger was never far off. When a third boar barreled straight at me, I had no time to hesitate. I pulled the trigger, and the beast dropped instantly, cementing another unforgettable moment in our hunting legacy. As we headed back, a sudden rustle in a nearby grove snapped us to attention. Sure enough, another boar burst into the open, tusks gleaming. I fired without a second thought, and the clean shot sent it staggering into the underbrush down for good. Despite the rush of the chase, our crew stays grounded in responsibility. We hunt strictly within the bounds of regulations,
One
honoring
clean shot,
designated seasons,
and a wounded boar
zones, and
lost
quotas.
its footing.
It's about more than the thrill. It's about preserving the balance of the wild and ensuring our passion for hunting respects the natural world we're privileged to roam. Nestled in southwestern Turkey, Mugla Province boasts breathtaking beaches and rugged, untamed mountains that draw visitors from far and wide. Yet, beneath this scenic splendor, a growing crisis looms, an out-of-control wild boar population. Last year alone, these animals ravaged over 300 hectares of crops, leaving local farmers reeling and desperate for solutions. With pork rarely consumed in Turkey, the boar numbers have surged without natural checks, spurring hunting groups like ours to step in and tackle this mounting threat head-on. In the heart of Mugla's western mountains, a notorious boar stronghold, we set up our positions, eye sharp and rifles ready. Almost immediately, a massive boar tore through the brush at breakneck speed. We gave chase, adrenaline pumping, and with a well-placed shot, we claimed our first trophy of the day. The forest came alive with chaos. Barking dogs, squealing boars, and the crack of gunfire created a heart-pounding symphony. Wave after wave, we brought down several of these hulking beasts, their powerful, muscular frames crashing through the undergrowth like creatures from a primal legend. Moving to a lower hill for a better vantage point, I spotted a formidable alpha boar making its escape. I steadied my breath, aligned the sights, and with one clean shot, sent it tumbling to the ground, a testament to our skill and resolve. Trekking through thick underbrush, I set up a strategic ambush. Senses dialed to the max. Suddenly, a wild boar erupted from the foliage, all muscle and fury. My instincts kicked in. I fired a swift, expert shot, dropping it on the spot. As we scouted for more targets, a whole herd burst into view, scattering in a frenzy of hooves and squeals. I zeroed in on one darting across my legs, landed a critical hit, and we took down several more in the chaos. A lone boar made a desperate break along the mountain slope, but I nailed it with a perfect shot, sending it tumbling. Pushing deeper, we followed fresh tracks to a tangled thicket where I lined up another precise shot, bringing down yet another beast with surgical accuracy. Wild boars breed year-round, each churning out 6 to 12 piglets, fueling a population explosion that devastates crops and threatens farmers' livelihoods. Experts estimate these animals cause up to $80 million in agricultural damage every year. Our hunts, backed by local authorities, are a critical effort to rein in this rampant threat and restore balance to the ecosystem. During one heart-stopping moment, a massive boar charged straight at us, tusks gleaming with menace. My first shot slowed it, but it kept coming. Steeling myself, I fired again, and the second bullet brought it down for good. The danger was real, our pulses racing from the close call, but it only sharpened our resolve. For anyone new to this, solo hunting is a bad call. Too many variables, too much risk. Later, from a distance, I spotted a full-grown boar rooting in the open. With years of practice guiding my hand, I took it down with one calm, calculated shot.